Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode we reached the Padrian Archaeopolis here, and now we're going to start doing some of the missions around this area, starting off with this one, which is also a waystone that's going to allow us to travel back here, to fast travel back here really easily. Anyway, at last, reason to be thankful for the gift of L'Cie power. I am charged with slaying a Munchkin Maestro, the very creature which brought devastation upon the home I left behind. When I have put an end to this demon and saved the village, please bear my crystal to the forum. There I shall rest, never to leave my beloved home again. So we will take on this mission, as we should. So, the Munchkin Maestro is located back this way, I'm pretty sure. He is along one of the paths, there you go, of the split. There's a few extra little battles we want to do, because now that we have the ability to teleport, I'm pretty sure we do, we will be making use of that as best as we can. We would have loved to have avoided this battle, but alas, no. But there we go. So we're going to see a Goblin Huntsman from the Munchkin Maestro. Nothing too much to be worried about yet. As you can see, we've already taken them down to the last two, which is nice. And maybe we've taken out the one that can use Goblin Punch. I don't know, I can't tell. It'd be awesome if we have. There you go, down you go. Yes, we have actually, because you can see none of these have. None of those had Bravery or Vigilance on, which are the two boosts that Goblin Huntsman gives. You are... We don't know if he's invulnerable to Imperil yet, but we would like to think not. There we go, lovely. And goodbye. That is a rather apt precursor to the battle that we will actually be doing against the Munchkin Maestro, because the mark that we're facing is pretty much the same battle, if I remember correctly. We're going to hopefully avoid these guys if we can, because there's really no point in doing them. It looks like we can't actually... Oh, I'm sure we can head down this way. We just need to find the spot at which we can drop down. So the reason we're heading down this way is because there are a few more battles that we want to take care of in this area. Most of them aren't too bad, if I remember correctly. So we've got some Alrone and what will most likely be some Triffids as well. Yeah, some Triffids. It's annoying that we can't seem to get any preemptive strikes on these guys. This is, just because it's a relatively large group, we will want to be just a little more careful than maybe we would normally be. Going to diversity will give us some help here. Nice to see that we already have some debuffs on this guy. We should be able to take out these Triffids relatively fast, now with Infire and all that. You can definitely feel yourself. What I really like about Chapter 11 is that you definitely sort of really feel yourself get stronger like just the team that you have and all this. You just build and get stronger and stronger, which is really cool. You'll take on enemies later on in the chapter that previously you've really struggled with, and you'll just be able to wipe the floor with them, and it's really, really satisfying. I would love. Oh no, this is the that battle. We'll see if we can't avoid these guys as well. So the reason that we're going this far back is because the area where we saw the Adroa and the Verdale, that would normally have another encounter there, and I forgot to actually do that. And because I want to be relatively consistent. Also, I think we will get a little cutscene by doing this, which is fine. I don't mind having that cutscene now. I'm pretty sure I'll be annoyed, but I'm pretty sure that we don't have any. We won't make any mistakes in terms of, so you see where that orange marker is on the map, that's where that cutscene is. So we could have returned here anyway, but just allows us to fast travel really nicely. It looks like there is a battle here, namely some Alrune and a Svarog. So again, just a battle that we haven't done yet, a battle that I want to do, and just to, annoyingly, I think this could be a problem for in fire, because I'm pretty sure I'm almost certain the Svarog is not weak to fire, so we will unfortunately have to oh Jesus. Come on, please heal me, please heal me. It's amazing how fast that happens. And I mean, even these Alrune, I mean, they seem like really weak enemies, and normally they would be considered rather weak enemies, but just because of their numbers and other stuff like that, they can become a real problem. Thankfully, with Deprotect and all this sort of stuff, we're going to be able to do more than enough damage to take these guys out. Lovely. Okay, we'll go to Smart Bomb now. For a bit of just to build that stagger gauge up. We'll go to Bully as well. We want to get Infrost, and I'm pretty sure it's Infrost. Yeah, Infrost and on our guys. It was a bit pointless putting it on me, but there we go. So there we go, we now have both of the debuffs on, which is really nice. I say it's pointless putting that on me because obviously I am unable to use an ice type move. Anyway, so we're going to get a stagger, and then hopefully we'll just be able to rip through this guy. Well, you are impervious to deep protect condition. Might go for feeding stew. That shouldn't take me out. Okay, it does take me out. Wonderful. I like how I was just like, oh, I'll be okay, no, we're not okay. No, we're dead. That's really annoying. Ah, man, Jesus. We're just dying way too often. It's just bugging me a lot. It's the right team, and it's the, well, it is one of the teams that you can use, and it is not, a terrible setup to have. It's just not doing things right at the moment. So unfortunately, Vanille was unable to get a lot of deep attacks off, which is a bit of a pity. There we go. Wait. Oh, Jesus. I was like, you're going for feeding stoop already? And then I looked at my health and I was like, okay, I'm dead. And thankfully, that was the sort of the less scary version of feeding stoop. Because of feeding stoop and because of its capabilities, we are going to need to probably go Mystic Tower at some point. Even once it's staggered, as you saw there, it could stay pretty. I'm really hoping that didn't actually land. I didn't get fog on her, awesome. Okay, so we're going to go Frost on Snow. I'm going to go in Thunder on me. And then Frost on Neil. Ah, unfortunately. I guess every other time we've had Feeding Stoop come along, then we've actually obviously had Snow in Sentinel mode to really just counteract it. But there we go, there we go. I'm going to change, he's going to change target, and then I did look like he wanted to Feeding Stoop there, which is why I'm just going to go to Mystic Tower for a couple of turns. We should be okay, to be fair. Like, Vanille was doing more than enough. There we go, lovely. Indeed, Vanille, indeed. Yeah, yes. Okay, so that is that. We'll now go back, grab the cutscene, and then we will make our way back to where we were, defeat the Munchkin Maestro, and then head into the Archaeopolis. I'm hoping I haven't misjudged this. I might have, but we'll see. We will see. So yeah, so we get a little cutscene just here.
You gotta be ready to drop by now. Don't overdo it.
I won't. I know my limits, unlike some people.
Oh, now who's the tough guy? What was that?
A grand pulse fal'Cie. Used to see it flying around all the time.
And they said it had a home. Somewhere near Amber.
So that's good news, right? If we stay on its tail, we should end up in your village. Let's follow it.
Right.
So we get our first little glimpse of the fal'Cie Dahaka there. And now what we will do is we will head back back to Padra. So obviously normally you'd get that cutscene as you were exiting this area, but because we have almost certain we have 2 Waystones, I'm hoping that we can use Waystones by now. I'm not entirely sure that is the case, but I'm hoping we can. Come on, you don't want to touch me. There we go, lovely. We'll skip most of these battles because we've already done them. And whilst the experience is obviously good, as in like, you know, for leveling up and stuff, we don't need it. I don't think. I say that and I've just lost, you know, just lost yet another battle this chapter. Which would obviously be useful to be over-leveled, but there we go. Let's see if we can. We'll see if we can't avoid these guys. Jesus Christ, why did you start so close to me as well, man? Like this massive wall of flan in front of me. again, like, I can't do anything about that, it seems. I get that they're meant to be here to block the path, but we'll see if we can't. We'll try once more, see if we can get around these guys. The deep gap. So if we head round this one, like... Ah, you're kidding me. Oh well, we'll fight him. Fine. It's just annoying. I'm going to put on Saz just for the moment because we are going to be using Mystic Tower a lot in this. Fire and all this sort of stuff. We'll be able to get stagger hopefully this turn. Yeah, there we go, lovely. We're going to use lots of air aura just to sort of launch it. Air aura, I should say. How many more? You're kidding me.
Good night.
Just go to Mystic Tower again in case he goes for that. Because obviously having a Sen in our team is obviously a very nice counter. Or just has Fringe Ward, which means that we can avoid stuff like that. Lovely, there we go.
No problem.
You do those battles apparently really fast, which is nice. Yeah, avoid them, lovely. Avoid these guys if we can. Why did you run into me? Oh well, this is a really easy battle. Bravery and Frost, Snow. Okay, so yeah, so we'll finish off these guys and then we'll obviously be at the position to face off against the Maestro, the Munchkin Maestro, for our Seath Mark mission. Lovely.
No problem.
and then we'll have a few battles down in the Archaeopolis, followed by probably the hardest mission that we'll actually have so far in Gratuitous. So let's just Chris Darius some stuff. Theosiphon, Sin. Ravage and Jeopardize are both good abilities to have. Although, as you can see, we've now got round to the point on our where each of the lower nodes are costing 6,000, and then the upper nodes cost 8, and then later on it goes to 8,000, and then the upper nodes cost 10, and the middle one costs also costs 8. So yeah, things just get steadily more and more expensive, as you would expect. I don't think Vanille is anywhere close to getting like Protect and stuff. Imperil Guard. Pain and Fog, yeah. But thankfully we do have Curasa, which is really, really good. That was obviously a main aim of mine to get that, and now we have it. So, these guys. We should be okay leading Burley. Could have sworn that should have been a preemptive, but there we go. So it's just a matter of haste in Frost, on Snow, haste Faith for Vanille. Going to be a little conservative, go diversity rather than relentless. The goblin punches aren't nice to take all the time, so. And once they have the ability to do so, they do tend to sort of spam it, as it were. So annoyingly here, Vanille is using Dispel to try and get rid of these boosts, which is fine. Sort of isn't really necessary, I guess, in my opinion. So we want to go across. Should have gone in air, but. So down to the Maestro himself, who already has a load of debuffs on him, so will not last long. For our first, is it our first? It might be our first rank C mission. It is really not a hard one. And we get 4 stars, nice. We get a Fullman ring, which blocks from electric attacks, I believe. It's just an advanced spark ring, I think. If you upgrade your spark ring, you get it to a Fullman ring. We have the 4 Munchkins again, see if we can't just run by these guys. Seems like when they don't have a Maestro by them, they do run away. Which would be nice if they didn't run away into me, but there we go. East Ross.
We gotta win this.
Lovely. Take care of this last guy, and then we'll be back at Padra, ready to explore the Archaeopolis and take on some new Seath enemies. The These sea berries are pretty tough. We do want to be a little wary of them. I believe we'll face them, I think they're taxims, the enemies in particular. That we might want to be a little wary of. Wonderful. It's exactly what we want to do. Avoid all the battles. Okay, so here we are in Padura, and so the Taxims are sort of the shambling Seath that you see over there. I believe these smaller ones are like a narcolepsy or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they're called. We will want to bring out premeditation, I think. Just for some of these guys, what you called. Do we know anything about these guys? Nilapsy, there you go, Nilapsies. Faith is what we're going to want, especially on Vanille. Essentially, these guys, because they're flying enemies, most Seath of this sort of form, they can evade your physical attacks. So, it's always good to have, sort of bank on magic attacks here. A large number of Seath tend to be weak to the vast majority of elements. That tends to be something that we see quite a lot. You can see that these guys aren't too hard. So there we go. Take care of those guys. There you are. So, just so you know, as we get some rhodochrosite, which is another one of the minerals that you need to upgrade your weapons. But so, Nilapsi are vampires from Slovakia that drink blood from victims after crushing their bones. Sounds very pleasant, doesn't it? So yeah, these guys are more the threat, methinks, in this area. I think they're called Taxims.
Back off!
Now's our chance.
We gotta win this!
I think we want to take out the Nilapsi first, just because it can be a little bit more annoying. I know the Taxims can be a problem, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. See, there you go. So you can see it's evading Snow's attacks there. As con. Doesn't always, obviously. You've got some attacks in there, but they can evade. Enemies that can evade are just annoying. So that's you down. I mean, so they're easily staggered, which is really good. I'm pretty sure they're weak against virtually every single element, which is also really good. But I think they're also pretty bulky in that they've got a lot of, either just got a lot of health or a lot of sort of staying ability. They are immune to deprotect and deshell, which is really annoying. But they don't seem to be too tough. I remember them being tough for some reason. So continuing with the Slavic theme, Taxims. A Taxim is a corpse arisen from the dead in Slavic folklore. So again, sort of very similar. So are you immune to poison? No, we've already seen poison. Are you immune to imperil? Doesn't look like it. I'm pretty sure they do have an ability which inflicts daze upon you. And we've already had daze inflictors in the demons that we saw in chapter 10, and they were really annoying. Daze is just a really annoying thing to deal with in general. Okay, so it looks like we've got another set of Taxim and Nilapsi. Ah, nice and simple.
Back off.
Haste, Frost, Snow. I like putting in Frost on Snow just because he has... he uses a lot of Ice-type moves anyway, just in terms of his, like... his role as a Ravager and everything else like that. So we can't use Smart Bomb because Vanille's already got all the status elements that she's got on this guy, so we just have to... Lovely. Launch is such a great ability. You should, with Saz's incredibly slow casting time, you have to juggle this guy for once.
Well, that wasn't scary at all.
So, there we go. That is that. We're now going to continue onwards. Another item to collect in the corner. Another battle. I think this is for Taxim, if I remember correctly. We'll see. And we can't get preemptive, which is a little annoying. So again, you know, in this sort of situation where you've got, you know, a team, sorry, an enemy set up which is incredibly resistant to debuffs in general, having your own buffs put on is really, really useful and just very, very, very helpful indeed. Okay. We'll go in Fire for Saz, in Frost for Snow, and Thunder for Vanille. But because all of these guys have really low stagger thresholds, it means that we can pretty much stay in we can just stagger them with Relentless Assault. We don't need to worry about. Yeah, you can see it's weak to everything pretty much. It can capable of inflicting daze and susceptible to slow. So that's rather interesting. I like how somehow we managed to stagger another one just through area of effects Ravager attacks. We're not going to be able to kill that one, obviously, but... we'll be able to get some decent damage off, I'm sure. And obviously Snow might be able to use like Scourge or something if you know. Like if he could have got Scourge off, that would have been really nice, but there's no... Okay, there's Whale. Okay, so Whale inflicts daze. That's the problem. So again, so the thing about daze is not only does it obviously incapacitate you for a certain amount, for a small amount of time, but it also means that the next hit you take an awful lot more damage from. So it's a twofold sort of thing. It means both these guys have relatively high, relatively large amounts of health left. It's a bit of a disappointment, but there we go. I am out of haste, actually, I just realised, but there we go. That's when you know the battles are lasting long, when you run out of haste. It seems haste is a buff in particular that doesn't last particularly long for some reason.
We gotta win this.
Still, there's nothing too difficult about these battles, which is really good to see. These Taxons are not causing us any trouble at all, which is nice. A nice change from recent times. Nice. And there we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Sweet. So we take care of the Taxons. And now we will collect the item and then deal with our final mark mission. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it off today. This episode, I should say. So grab that, and now we can head over down here. So, this mission, rank C, Bituitous, the Pillager. The undying, fearsome Seath who defy Fal'Cie will, driven by an intense loathing of all that lives. The Pillager, Bituitous, is one of their number, and it is my fate to seal his. Villages that survived the war remain unsafe, for his path of destruction sweeps through them all. Even my own fell before him. The demon is said to make his fastness in the Padrian Archaeopolis, but he will find no sanctuary from me there. So essentially, he's one of the Undying. Undying are this sort of group of Seath that are exceptionally sort of strong, and each interaction with an Undying, I think, has an effect on the surrounding area. So, for example, here, all of the enemies... pretty sure. Or maybe not. Is that him flying above us? Anyway, the other thing about them is that they actually... there is a trophy for defeating all of them. That is also to be noted. And yeah, they're just special enemies that have their own entrance animations and all this sort of stuff. We do want to be wary about this guy. So we're just going to max out our Hysteria for a bit. That's into the sixes. $20,000. So we've got Dispelga. Counter. Counter would be nice. And then for Vanille, we will go to Sab. grab ourselves Imperil Gar. And then everything else I think we can't actually afford. So, there we go. Okay, so the important thing is to work out how on earth we want to set up against this guy. I'm pretty sure this will be one of the tougher battles for us. So we do just want to be careful about it. I'm trying to remember whether he's got a specific elemental affinity or something like that, but I don't think so. Okay, let's do this. Bituitus. Oh, he's an electric. Yeah. Okay, Bituitus, the Pillager. Let's get into this battle. So, because he's a one-of-a-kind enemy, we will want to Libra him. He also likes to go miasma. Techniques, Libra. Techniques, Dispelga.
I'll handle this.
That's the joy of Dispelga. It allows us to pretty much get rid of all of those debuffs. So, we see he is weaker to magic in general. He is immune to poison. We want to hit him with lots of things. Capable of inflicting dazing poison. Powerful lightning-based attacks and susceptible to imperil. So, haste. I think Bar Thunder is going to be worthwhile here. So I will be imparting Bar Thunder along with lots and lots of faith. Faith. Bar Thunder for Saz. And also for Vanille. So there's 11 Volt. Yeah, so 11 Volt is probably, will certainly be one of the sort of electric type based abilities he has. Jeez, that's annoying. It's obviously going to be difficult to cope with that all of the time. Okay, so we've got Deep Protect on, lovely. Going to go to Mystic Tower here for Stagger. Although we definitely do want to get healing. So, yeah. Yeah, that does an awful lot, even with just because we have D shell on us. So that's the poison down and everyone, which is good. He is losing health fast, which is nice to see. I don't think he'll last long once we actually, like, if we get him to stagger, he won't last long. It's just a matter of getting that far. I am going to Dispel her again.
We ain't going down.
Which does, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure, get rid of all of our buffs as well, which is a little annoying, but
You gotta win this.
it's worth it in the long run. How much does that? Jesus.
Time to pull the old switcheroo.
Okay. One more, because we only have one more. And now, what I want to do is we want to go... This is where premeditation would be really useful, actually. I am really, really sorry that we actually... My recording cut out just as we were finishing off that battle, but this is the result, and I know you have to take my word on that, because I can't just prove that I died and then did it again. But no, this is the result. It was a really tense battle as well, because Vanille went down to the next 11 bolt, I think. As I was casting... I casted Haste and Bar Thunder on Saz, just to ensure that he lived. And then Vanille fell. I had to Phoenix down her up, and then she just got in some curing, some Curasa in, before Saz died. And then we just finished him off right at the end. It was a very, very close battle. But here we have it. We have 4 stars, defeated Bituitus the Pillager. We get no spoils in terms of drops from him, but we get the mission complete. We get access to the R&D depot, which is another one of the shops that you will have access to, and we also get the rank of Archaeopolitan Idol. So, Gratuitous is going to enter a rather random looking crystal with a bunch of Seath stones sort of surrounding the bottom of it. I like how that says is just like, what the frick is going on? That crystal is very important later on, but that won't be for a while. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. I hope you will join me on the next.